Hey everyone, and welcome to today's breakdown. Today, we're diving deep into a seriously powerful motivational metaphor from our source material. We are talking about the ultimate winner's mindset. And to really unpack that, we're going to decode the legendary attitude of the eagle. We're going to explore exactly how this incredible bird handles adversity, outlasts its enemies, and completely reinvents itself.
So let's just jump right in with a kind of fascinating mystery. Why does the eagle never build a nest? I mean, think about it. Our source points out that while every other bird is frantically preparing for bad weather, telling the eagle to build a shelter because a storm is coming, the eagle just shrugs it off. It basically says, we'll see when the time comes. It's such a wild concept right from the start. Why would this incredibly powerful bird intentionally avoid comfort? Why refuse to build a safe, cozy haven?
Well, that brings us to section 1, above the clouds, the environmental trial. Now, when that heavy rain finally hits, we see this absolute stark contrast. While all the other birds are desperately scrambling, seeking shelter, and hiding from the storm, the eagle takes a completely different route. It flies directly above the clouds. And this right here, this perfectly defines the winner's attitude our speaker is talking about. The eagle doesn't just manage the problem, and it certainly doesn't hide from it. It rises, literally and figuratively, above the entire situation. And I love how our source phrases this next point. They challenge the clouds. People often look up at an eagle soaring way up there and just assume it's effortlessly floating on like some magical updraft. But it isn't magic at all. Instead of hiding from environmental obstacles or cowering in some nest it never even built, the eagle deliberately tackles the obstacle head-on. It asserts its dominance over the exact same thing that sends everyone else running for cover. Moving on to section 2. Pain and rebirth, the internal trial. So, there inevitably comes a moment in the eagle's life when its physical abilities start to fail. Its feathers get incredibly heavy, its claws start to bend, and its beak curves so much that flying, hunting, and honestly just surviving become nearly impossible. But when this happens, the eagle doesn't just throw in the towel. No, it puts itself through this grueling, agonizing physical process for self-renewal. First, it retreats to a high, completely isolated mountain peak. Second, it literally plucks out its own heavy feathers, one by one. Third, it repeatedly smashes its bent claws and curved beak against hard rocks to break them off completely. And finally, it waits. It takes 6 long, vulnerable months for its new feathers, claws, and beak to grow back so it can finally take flight again. And here is the absolute kicker. The eagle accepted the challenge, and it didn't blame fate. Our source explicitly connects this literal physical action to human psychological resilience, because during periods of personal decay or extreme difficulty, you know what a true winner does? They don't make excuses. They don't complain about the heavy feathers or the bent claws that life handed them. They accept the extreme, painful process of transformation, just so they can fly high once more. All right, let's pick up the pace a bit for section 3, crows and eagles, the social trial. Okay, get this. According to our source, basically no bird in their right mind dares to mess with an eagle, except for one, the crow. The crow will actually fly right up, sit directly on the eagle's back, and just start pecking at it. And this crow, it perfectly represents those everyday people who taunt you, the critics who sit on your shoulders telling you everything you did wrong or trying to convince you that you're just not good enough. Now, the eagle's strategy for dealing with this relentless, annoying bottom feeder is absolutely fascinating. It ignores the crow completely. It doesn't waste a single ounce of precious energy trying to fight back or swat the crow away or argue with it. Instead, it stays intensely focused on its own flight, and it just flies higher and higher into the sky. And the result of that hyper-focus? It's spectacular. Because as the eagle elevates its altitude, the oxygen levels drop. The crow, which just can't survive at those soaring heights, simply suffocates, falls off, and perishes. What a powerful metaphor, right? By simply focusing on your own goals, raising your own standards, and elevating your game, those toxic critics and negative voices will literally just drop off. You don't have to fight them, you just outgrow them. Which brings us to the grand resolution in section 4, crown and rule, the ultimate philosophy. To cap off this entire metaphor, the speaker shares this brilliant piece of poetry, a shayari. And it starts with this line, "Eagles never chase nightingales." Now, the nightingale, or bulbul, is this famously beautiful bird that captures the infatuation of pretty much all the other birds, but not the eagle.
The lesson here is that a true winner is never distracted by superficial beauty, passing trends, or trivial pursuits. They are fiercely, single-mindedly focused on their own higher purpose. Those who surrender without a fight are never brave. And this perfectly reinforces the core message we've been tracking today. Whether you're facing down storm clouds or dealing with the sheer agony of regrowing your beak and claws, you never throw in the towel before giving your absolute best effort against adversity. And then we get this massive, powerful finale. Crowns are never placed on bowed heads. If you are put on this earth, you've got to live your life with your head held high. It brilliantly captures the absolute necessity of living with pride, with conviction, and with deep self-respect if you truly want to achieve greatness and become the ruler of your own destiny. So let's bring it all together. The ultimate takeaway from our source material today is to maintain a top-class attitude and never ever accept defeat. The speaker explicitly contrasts this winning posture with what they frame as a cowardly or failure-oriented mindset. You simply cannot reach your ultimate destination if you approach life with a bowed head and a defeated posture. You absolutely must adopt this unbreakable, high-altitude attitude if you want to succeed. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final vital thought. The eagle intentionally endures 6 grueling months of pain, breaking its own beak and plucking its own feathers just to earn the right to fly high again. So, what challenge are you willing to endure to reach your highest altitude? Think about the storms you need to fly above and the critics you need to outclimb. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown. Keep your head high and keep flying.